This is the top 15 common cards from Shards of Alara. Nobody asked for this, but here we go. First off, we've got Dispeller's Capsule. I bet you everybody's seen this card. It's got Artifact Synergy. It's got Destruction Synergy. It's cheap, and you can destroy an artifact or enchantment with it, and it's got Sacrifice Synergy as well. It's everything all in one. It's what you want in a white artifact deck. Going along with that, there's also Executioner's Capsule. You can pay 1 and a black and tap it to destroy a non-black creature. Again, artifact synergies, sacrifice synergies, destroy a non-black creature. That's all pretty freaking good. Next up is Oblivion Ring. This is another one everybody's seen. It's so good. When it comes into play, you remove another non-land permanent from the game until it leaves play. As for 3 mana, this is one of the classics that a lot of cards, I don't know if they were based off of this one, but this is one of those older ones that I just think is really awesome. Soul's Grace is our next one. You pay 1 and a white for an instant that gains you life equal to target creature's power. This can be anybody's creature, not just your own, and we've all seen Commander games with Lothiel, right? It's just, things get bonkers. Things get really big. So maybe you put this in your black-white vampire deck, or you put it in your, I don't know, that same Lothiel deck, make things just insane. This thing can go off hard. Ethereum Sculptor is in just every blue deck, I feel like. Every blue artifact deck. Makes your artifacts cost 1 less to play. This just can't be overlooked. It's also cheaper than some of the other ones that do the same thing, so it's just really nice if you want it in a blue artifact deck. Death Greeter is amazing. Whenever another creature is put into a graveyard from play, you may gain a life. You don't have to, but you can, and this is anybody's creatures that go to the graveyard. This can trigger our Sanguine Bond stuff and Exquisite Blood, those two. This can trigger all sorts of things, and if we can do like a cycle with Cauldron Familiar or something like that, just off the top of my head, you can just gain a bunch of life, and it just goes nuts. Elvish Visionary is a 2 mana 1/1 that enters to draw a card. So you'll put this in your elf deck, you'll put this in your flicker deck, whatever you want to put it in, draws a card, or you could put it in like Yarok, double ETB triggers. It's awesome, it's cheap, draws you a card, keeps you ahead, and all those types of decks love it. The next 3 are pretty similar, but Druid of the Anima is a mana dork that taps for red, green, or white, and I just feel like this one doesn't see enough play. I think the Naya decks need some more love, and this is a great mana dork for them. Again, with the Naya theme, we've got Wild Nactyl. It's a 1 mana 1/1, but it can be a 3/3 as long as you control a mountain and a plains. That's just wild. It's just, I really want to build a pauper deck with this. This thing's nuts. 1 mana 3/3 is pretty cool. How do we get that one out though? Well, you can cast a Lush Growth on one of your lands, and it's a mountain, forest, and a plains. So boom, with 1 mana, you already have a 3/3, basically turn 2. That's amazing, especially in something like Pauper. I don't know. Maybe it sucks on Pauper, I don't know, but to me it feels like a really broken thing. Agony Warp. This one's been reprinted recently, and it gives a target creature -3/-0 and -0/-3. So you can give something -3/-3, which is kind of cool, or you can split that up if you want. This one's not that strong, but honestly, it's just kind of a fun one that you can put in maybe a Pauper Commander deck or something like that you can kill something small. And it's instant speed, so it's just, it'll work. It'll work just fine. Blightning, this one's kind of freaky looking, but it deals 3 damage to target player, and then that player discards 2 cards. This works with your Kroxa decks that want to discard cards, and you deal damage to a player, and it's just kind of a burny spell and a discard spell, and I think that's just kind of fun. Hindering Light is one I really like. It counters a spell that targets you or a permanent you control, and you draw a card, and let's be honest, most things are going to target you or a creature or something that you control, so you can just counter that, and then it keeps your thing in the game, and you draw a card on top of that. Sigil Blessing is a really cool combat trick card. Until end of turn, you give a creature +3/+3, and then the rest of your creatures also get +1/+1 until end of turn, so it's an Anthem effect as well as a giant growth on top of something. So I think this is really cool in human decks or combat trick decks. I just feel like this one needs to be played more. I think it's just awesome. Relic of Progenitus is our last one. You can remove cards from graveyards from the game game. You just exile everybody's graveyards. If you pay 1, you can exile itself, and then you remove all graveyards from the game and draw a card. So if you're running like Eldrazi decks or something, this takes the place of your Bojuka Bog or something like that. This one fits in any deck, so if you're really looking for something that's in place of Bojuka Bog in a non-black deck, this is where it's at. All right, what cards do you think were better than these from Shards of Alara? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you check out that TCGplayer affiliate link in the description below. Thank you to my patrons as well. They're awesome. I love them. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week for your weekly dose of magic.